What's up guys? Today I'm going to be talking about Marauders. The next beta is about to come out and I want to go over some of the things that I enjoyed about the previous beta and some of the things that the previous beta didn't exactly nail, and I hope that they get right this time around. We're going to be doing this segment called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. So there were a lot of things in the previous beta that I thought they got right. The number one thing being the space combat. I thought the space combat was really cool. It's a great addition to the looter shooter genre, and it doesn't really force you in anything that you don't want to do. It's easy to learn, and it's also easy to avoid if it's not something that you're into. But you could easily make this your main gameplay when you're playing the game. You could just forego going into the maps at all and just invade other players' ships, take their loot, and extract. I also really enjoyed the raid combat. It's fast-paced and easy to learn, no frills, you get what you get, and I really enjoy that. It's a breath of fresh air when you play games like Tarkov all the time where everything's kind of overly complicated. This game really dials that back to just be a more fun experience in my opinion. Fights can range from quick engagements to battles that span the entire map due to the arcadey movement.
I'm not seeing enough movement!
And I've heard conflicting points of view on this subject, but I thought the audio was pretty well done. There were a few areas on a few maps where audio above you or below you can be a little weird, but for the most part, I was able to easily pinpoint someone anywhere on the map. I'm sure I'll catch a bunch of flack for this, but I really enjoyed the audio. He's in this hallway right here. Close left, close left. He did. The load times for the raids were also incredibly fast when you play games like Tarkov and you're literally sitting in a queue for up to 15 minutes just to get one tapped as soon as you load in. The fast load times really help alleviate those post-death blues when you can quickly just throw a kit together and hop right back into a server. I really love the theme of Marauders too. The whole diesel punk alternate future
70 years
is really interesting. It also opens up a lot of possibilities and variety for future content. Alright, so there are some things that the previous beta didn't exactly nail. These are the things that I would love to see the next beta and the release get right. With the game still in beta form, there are going to be bugs, and I get that, but a lot of the minor bugs that were in the previous beta really added up to be a major pain.
Welcome to the house of pain!
Dude, my gun stopped shooting. What? I was holding the trigger and my gun stopped shooting. That's not a good sign. Did your game crash? Oh, hell. Damn. Inventory management is also a big aspect of looter shooters, and although they have the framework, there are a lot of quality of life things that I would have liked to see, like hotkeys, being able to move items to and from your stash a lot easier, to and from your character. Looting while you're in raid needs to be a little bit more streamlined. I think overall the inventory management needs a little bit more fine-tuning. I would love to see some of those quality of life changes, if not in this upcoming beta, definitely for the full release. Given the theme for the game, there are a pretty good amount of different weapons, but the weapons sometimes can feel a little similar in a lot of aspects, and the weapon attachments don't really add much to that either. So I think going forward, I would really like to see more tweaking to the weapon attachments to actually provide value to you, and also being able to loot weapon attachments while you're in raid, or being able to remove and place weapon attachments on your gun in raid, or like loot weapon attachments from other players to be able to bring out of the raid. I think that would be a cool addition I would like to see. The crafting system is also pretty bare bones. I think I would really like to see a lot of those craftable items in the actual loot table, so when you go into raid you can actually find those items too. Even if you don't have those items unlocked yet, being able to find them in raid, even if they are rare, would be a nice addition. I would also like to see the AI tweaked a little bit. You either get these brain dead AI that just stare at walls and have no clue where you're at, or you get AI that literally try to aimbot you when you're about to cross a corner. It's very inconsistent. They're either dumb as a rock or they're absolute gods. Definitely some tweaking that they could do there. Alright, let's get into some of the ugly stuff. These are some changes that the game desperately needs going into the release of the game. Number one being the cheater problem. What the f? Okay, that dude's cheating. How do I report? There's already a pretty big cheater problem in this game. It's really sad given that the game is not even released yet. It's still in beta form. The fact that you have cheaters in this game already is pretty depressing, but I do think that the developers need to focus on getting a handle on the cheater problem, just so the community knows that they are doing everything in their power in order to make the experience a fun experience for the player base. I also ran into a lot of packet issues or desync issues. I'm not really sure what was going on. There were a lot of instances where I would die in a single frame. I would die to people that I couldn't even see. Really weird situations that were going on there. And it doesn't help with the fact that there being a lot of cheaters in the game. So you have these like really sus deaths that happen to you. And I think that the desync and stuff attributes to that. The netcode is definitely something that they need to tighten up. I would also really like to see some explanation from the devs on how armor actually works. I get that there's supposed to be some kind of damage negation going on there. Does it only negate damage for those parts of the body that it's covering, or is it just your whole body that it's negating damage? What's actually going on there? Because the game doesn't do a great job of explaining that. I really think they need to have some sort of explanation when it comes to armor going into this next beta, and definitely for the full release of the game. So given all of these other gripes that I have, there definitely needs to be an implementation of an after death screen telling you how you died, what you died to, and who you died to, and being able to report someone if you suspect them of cheating. How do I report? The after death screen will really help clarify some of these other issues that I previously stated. It'll also give you a little bit more insight into how you went wrong and how you can do better next time. Another thing that the devs need to implement into this game is some feedback when you're being shot at. Currently in the game, it's not very apparent when you're taking damage or getting shot at. He hit me? You'll be in a firefight and taking huge chunks of damage and not even realize it because there's no prompt or anything on screen letting you know that you are. They really need to add some sort of effect, maybe not as severe as Tarkov, but at least in Tarkov, when you're getting shot at, you know you're getting shot at. They really need to implement some sort of mechanic or system that lets a player know, hey, I'm taking damage, or hey, I'm being shot at from over here. Alright guys, that's it for me. I'm really enjoying Marauders, and despite some of the complaints that I have with it, I can't wait to hop back into this next beta and the full release of the game. I am super pumped. Let me know what you thought about some of my feedback, and if you have any feedback of your own, let me know down in the comments. Also, be sure to hit that sub button because your support is greatly appreciated. Until next time guys, see you later.